This is Cubs Pregame Live, presented by Subaru.
Theo Epstein renewing acquaintances with his former club, the Boston Red Sox. It's the Cubs and the Bo Sox in a three-game interleague series. It opens here today on Comcast Sportsnet. And welcome in to our Subaru Cubs pregame live alongside Todd Hollinsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Last time this matchup happened at Wrigley Field, Cubs-Red Sox, I think you had 2 homers on the weekend. You ripped them apart. It's a really cool setting out here today with Theo and the Red Sox and everything that goes around it. There's a little bit of a buzz here.
This is why interleague play is good. This is why you fall in love with it. Matchups like this, you talk about the Boston Red Sox, our Cubbies. You could come up with some great storylines. I mean, for crying out loud, Mark Pryor's in AAA with the Boston Red Sox. He hasn't pitched in the big leagues in 6 years. Just great, tons of storylines. Theo Epstein, this ball club, our ball club. Maybe we're getting a glimpse in the Boston Red Sox of what it might look around here in a few years.
All right, for more on Theo Epstein, who had a lot of media responsibilities this morning, let's go down to the field. Gail Fisher, it's a bit of a circus atmosphere with all the Boston media trying to get a piece of Theo.
Yeah, I think Theo's still talking to somebody right now, so he's been a busy man today. Certainly a lot of subplots for this series this weekend, with Theo being the biggest one. Of course, he came from the Red Sox last fall to Chicago. Now both franchises aren't doing very well. Boston is in last place, and of course the Cubs are 21 games below 500, so both teams have a lot of work to do. Theo says he doesn't pay much attention anymore to what's going on in Boston, but he does have a lot of affection for the team that gave him his first GM job. As for this weekend, I think he has mixed emotions.
One of those things you kind of can't wait for it to come, and you can't wait for it to be over either. Just hopefully 3 good games, we can get a couple wins and move on. But it'll be great to see everybody. We don't get to play these guys that often, so it's kind of relative. With the Red Sox, when we get to go to a place like Wrigley Field that you don't get to go to that often. I remember back in 04, I think 04 or 05. We came here, so this is a special experience to, see a ballpark like this that you don't get to, and play a team you don't get to play, and all the fans come out, and probably 2 best fan bases in baseball, Red Sox fans and Cubs fans. And I remember that was a special weekend. I'm sure this will be too. And then, there's probably some curiosity about what we're up to here as we kind of put this thing together. I don't know. I can't speak for them.
It is a rare matchup between 2 of baseball's most recognizable franchises. As we mentioned, the last time Boston came to Wrigley Field was back in 2005 when the Cubs took 2 out of 3 in that series. For Cubs skipper Dale Swaim, who also interviewed for the managerial job in Boston that eventually went to Bobby Valentine, this weekend, well, it's just another series.
It's just, another series, really. Obviously, the fans and everybody know that, the Red Sox are in town. The Red Sox against the Cubs, too. The most historic teams in all of baseball, are playing each other. So on a weekend in, one of the better parks in the country. So it's, that's what it is. But the fact of the matter is we just go about business the same way. We got to try, to get better and win baseball games.
And Ryan Dempster will try to win 3 in a row today and improve upon his 15-inning scoreless streak as he takes the mound for the Cubs. One other game note for the Cubs. Dale Swaim mentioned Giovanni Soto possibly returning, coming off the DL as early as Monday, perhaps against that White Sox series. So we could expect to see him back with the big league club next week sometime. That's going to do it from down on the field, Cap. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Nice and hot, just like you like it. But I'm going to go get in the shade. Cap Holly, back to you.
All right, thank you, Gail. Gail and I were talking weather. To me, this is ideal. I love 95-degree weather, so to me, it's a spectacular day. Now, Bobby Valentine comes to Wrigley for the first time since he ripped Starlin Castro in a 5-minute tirade on a broadcast. Starlin says, I'm not paying attention to that. I don't care. That's in the past. If you were in Starlin's shoes, would you have something to prove to him in this series?
No, not at all. I don't think so. I mean, listen, you're trying to take care of business on your team in your town, and he shouldn't feel that. I mean, whether he's got resentment or right, here's the problem. Bobby Valentine really wasn't wrong in what he was assessing. that's where your mind's got to go with this. You might not like it. You hiccup, you make mistakes in the game. Heck, I made mistakes out here on this field all the time, and you hear about it. But you move on. You understand it's the game. People are paid to say things and look at things and give their opinion on things. And whether Starlin likes it or not, whether he agrees or disagrees, his job is between the lines right now. Do everything in your power to go out and beat the Boston Red Sox.
All right, now you mentioned the Boston Red Sox. They entered the season with legitimate World Series contender hopes. For the Cubs, they knew it was not going to be that type of season. So Boston looks at this as a chance to come in, add 3 victories to their total, and get out of town. But it's also a very electric atmosphere. Do the players feel it as well?
Oh, absolutely. You're going to get a packed house today. You're going to get Red Sox fans in Chicago for the weekend. Much like the Detroit series, you're going to see some faces you might not like to see on a regular basis, but you're going to have a bunch of their fans. You're going to hear them. They're going to be there. The Cubbies, they're going to be represented doing their thing as well. You want to take it to them. This is a classic matchup. I mean, you've got 2 primetime games. You got a huge weekend series against the Boston Red Sox. You've got all the storylines that are there right in front of you. At the same time, these Cubs players have a real opportunity to jump on it. Listen, there's going to be a lot of attention. Ryan Dempster, we've heard his name out there. Matt Garza, guys who are on the trade block. This is a big weekend for a lot of people.
All right, you mentioned those 2 guys. Let's start with Ryan Dempster. He'll start today opposite Daisuke Matsuzaka, who's only a couple starts removed from recovering from Tommy John surgery. But for Dempster, he said this is an opportunity to face American League hitters.
A little bit more that goes into it. When you face guys in your own league, in your own division, and things like that, you tend to have a feel of how to pitch them. You've faced them enough times, but there's a lot of guys on the Red Sox that I haven't faced before or have very limited at-bats against. So, I try to do as much as I can, but at the same time, you can do all the scouting in the world. It comes down to making your pitches and executing what you need to do.
All right, so for Dempster, there's got to be 20 scouts that are here that have teams that are either in the wild card race or have legitimate hopes to win their division. They are going to watch Ryan Dempster, not only his velocity, but how he attacks an American League East power-laden lineup. This is his biggest start of the season so far.
For Ryan Dempster, it certainly is. Probably have a lot to do with where he lands, whether it's an American League team, a National League team, and how it ultimately breaks down. You look at the Boston Red Sox and you think, the first thing you think is that, well, this is Theo's crew. They must walk a lot and real patient, long, drawn-out at bats. Now, these guys really, they slug a lot. That's what they do. Second in the league in batting average, or second in runs, 4th in batting average. I mean, they produce. This lineup's good. They can hit a lot. They don't walk a lot, really. They're only 22nd in walks. So, again, that's going to be the challenge today. He's going to get himself probably in some situations where you got runners on base, some traffic out there, and he's going to be forced to make pressure pitches to big-time performers. That's what you see in the American League East. Everybody in baseball calls it the heavyweight division. It really is, because there's no days off. You look at these lineups top to bottom. There's guys at the bottom of their lineups that can do an awful lot of damage. The Red Sox represent that today to them.
All right, now I had a long talk with Peter Gammons in the Cub dugout this morning. He said that if Cole Hamels is not traded by the Phillies because of his impending free agency, and he does not believe he will be, he said that makes Matt Garza the #1 available arm in all of baseball. He said every contender is going to take a look at him, and they're going to give up quite a package for him. Do you agree with that?
I do, and here's why. I mean, if you're putting Demp and Garza together and side by side and saying who would teams want more, well, I mean, number one, Demp's got a little more polish, and I will say that, and I'll certainly give it to him. He doesn't have the velocity, but the thing that kind of works against Demp in the argument is that Matt Garza made his early living in that heavyweight division
pitching
that I'm talking about. That's exactly right, pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. So people around baseball, analysts all over our country, when they look at that situation, say, well, he's battle tested. He's been in the American League East. If he goes out west, well, you know what? It's still, he's been in the American League East. If he goes to the American League Central, he came from the American League East. That's what works for you. That's how you feel it, and that's how you see it. He is battle-tested. People look at that. They also fall in love with the velocity, 94, 95, sometimes 96. The ability to get big bats out. He can do it. He's had a great run through the American League East, and his track record speaks for itself. Not that Demp can't do it. I just think that, right now with his age and the factor and his velocity, the teams are maybe less inclined. I mean, there's still going to be at least, 12 to 20 teams involved on Dempster.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Now, Daisuke Matsuzaka, when he signed coming out of Japan, this was a guy they paid $51.5 million for posting rights, another $50-some million to sign him. So a $100 million pitcher, he's never lived up to that advance billing.
Well, not a lot of them do, and that's a very interesting point that you make. But again, talking about Dice K, this is an opportunity for the Cubs, getting a guy. This is his second start out of Tommy John surgery. I wouldn't expect him to be all that sharp. I think in his first start he had 8 strikeouts, but he got hit around a little bit. I think it's going to be a real opportunity to come out and jump today, but it's going to have to be good at bats. What I've learned dealing with Hideo Nomos of the world, guys that I grew up with in the game, what I see is that if you're over-aggressive, they're going to pitch away from your bat. And if you continue to be over-aggressive, you're going to continue to get yourself out. So that's going to really be the challenge for the Cubs hitters today, is forcing him back into the strike zone. That's not somewhere he likes to hang out. His walk totals, they'll go through the roof. It's one of the first things that frustrates you typically, not just with Dice K, but with Japanese pitchers at times, is that they will pitch away from contact over here. We're starting to see it a little bit with Yu Darvish. So, again, good approach, attack when you get your pitch, and put some good at-bats together, and he's going to start steering it away from the middle of the plate.
All right, let's look at our Joe Stonecrap What's at Stake report. What's at stake? How about the stolen base lead? Despite not playing every day, Tony Campana leads the way with 21. Most in the National League, one more than the Marlins speedster Emilio Bonifacio. D. Gordon of the Dodgers. Michael Bourne is at 4th, and Starling Castro is tied for 5th with Jose Reyes. All right, we have to take our first time out here on our Subaru Cubs pregame live. Holly and I will have his keys to victory a little later in the show, our key performers. Next, we go through the lineups and let you know who's going to be in each club's starting 9. Be right back.
What's at Stake is brought to you by Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab. For the city's finest selection of prime steaks and fresh seafood, there's no better place than Joe's.
There's a cattle guard, take a right.
Do you have any idea where you're going?
Wherever the wind takes me.
This is so off course.
Nature can surprise you sometimes.
Next time you drive.
Next time, signal your turn.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Love wherever the road takes you.
Innovation can't wait. Creativity can't wait. Business today can't wait for a new breed of speed. Comcast Business Class. Fast Ethernet speeds from 1 megabit to 10 gigabits per second. Scales quickly to meet demand. A secure, diverse fiber optic network. Don't wait. Switch to Comcast Business Class, because business can't wait.
I look good, right, I look good, right, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, right, I look good, right, come on. Right, come on. I look good, right.
As a professional medical test subject, I'm fine with being a guinea pig. Except when it comes to my laptop. I'm sick of tech companies treating paying customers like test monkeys. That's why I went with Toshiba's Satellite Ultrabook. They get it right before they release it. With its high-speed start and fast data transfer, it has everything I need and no unforeseen complications. Testing unfinished products on the public, that's inhumane.
The Satellite Ultrabook, only from Toshiba.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
The more you floor, the more you save. Buy 1 room of flooring, get all other rooms of product for only $50 each. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
The Chevy Cruze has remote access. It can check my oil life and tire pressure all through my smartphone.
I wouldn't have thought of you as the techie gadget guy, Tim.
Why? Because I'm old?
Well, boss, you do call it my face.
Transferred your contacts from your old address book to your new rotary-style address book.
Ooh, rotary style.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, very well-qualified lessees can get a 2012 Chevy Cruze LS for around $159 a month. EPA estimated 36 mpg highway.
Boston Red Sox getting acclimated with Wrigley Field. Game 1 of a 3-game weekend series. You get the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. We continue our Subaru Cubs pregame live. He's Todd Hollinsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Let's take a look at the lineups for both clubs. We'll start with Dale Swaim's Chicago Cubs. And here are the 9 that he is going to trot out there. Tony Campana, the league stolen base leader, will lead off and play center. Starlin Castro, David DeJesus, Alfonso Soriano, Brian LaHare, Steve Clevenger, Darwin Barney, Luis Valbuena at third, and Ryan Dempster on the hill. What jumps out?
Well, really, to me, more than anything, what I want to see is aggressiveness on the base pass. I know we mentioned it a little bit. Tony Campana had there 21 stolen bases, but when you go up against teams like this, big boys, you've got to use every advantage that you've got. And one thing that I think that the Cubs have a real advantage is on the base pass. Their ability, and they've run the bases a lot better of late. They've been a lot more aggressive. I want to see that today. Transitioning, putting pressure on the mound. I feel like if you can get Dice K into the stretch and you get guys moving around out there, you're going to get traffic, you're going to get mistakes, and I think this Cubs lineup could come to life a little bit, even more than what we've seen in the last couple days.
All right, Alfonso Soriano has been swinging a red-hot bat. He goes for a 10-game hitting streak today. Now, he had his series home run streak snapped yesterday, 9 straight series with a home run. Didn't get one in the Tiger series, but still is hitting very well.
Oh, he's been doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's the guy in the middle of the lineup that we're counting on for power, consistent power, and RBI potential, and I think it's going to show itself. I mean, we talk about the hot temperatures, the way the wind is right now. Ball will be flying out of here, but again, it's going to be an aggressive approach from the Cubs lineup that's going to translate into runs today. If they sit back or if they begin to swing early in the count, I think they're digging their own grave. I think it's going to be real important that they put together great at-bats and continue to put pressure on Dice K and this team. I mean, it's an okay defensive team. It's not a great team in that capacity. They got guys out of position. You've got Gonzalez and Wright and guys moving around the field. Euclid is coming back. He's been a little bit inconsistent. So I really feel like there's an advantage for the Cubs in the consistency if they go out there and they do it in an aggressive fashion.
All right, let's take a look at Bobby Valentine's Boston Red Sox. Scotty Pods, who a lot of people surprised the success he's had coming back, playing for the Bo Sox. He has a great lifetime history against Ryan Dempster, Dustin Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez, Big Papi, Kevin Euclid, as you said. We watched him swing today. He's got the most unique batting stance that I've ever seen. I never realized that he starts with one hand on the label of the bat, and as the pitch is en route, slides it down the bat. It's almost like you wonder if that's going to become a problem.
Well, at some point it might be. I mean, with the missing time and the mechanics and how things like that typically break themselves down, you wonder how sustainable it is because physically he's broken down here recently and he's getting up there in age a little bit. So and put that together with the fact that he's struggling. Really, outside of David Ortiz, everybody in this lineup struggling a little bit. Pasednik's been fantastic, 373 since coming up to the big club at the top of the lineup. They score runs. But it's interesting. The way that they do it is they slug. They're up there in home runs. They're up there in doubles. They pound the ball around the yard. They don't walk as much as people think that they do. That's the type of offense that they do. They're going to give you good at-bats, and these guys have track records. But to a man, collectively, the group, it's a down year for the offense.
All right, let's take a look at Big Papi. He leads the club in home runs with 14. He's an outstanding talent. Big Papi is also their team leader in average at 307. RBIs with 41. And we watched him take BP, and he's hitting ball after ball way out on Sheffield.
Absolute raw power. I tell you about Adam Dunn and that space on the bat away from the barrel where he gets home runs that the rest of us don't get. Well, he's another one of those guys. David Ortiz does just that. What I'm talking about, most of us looking to square up a ball on the bat, get it off the barrel, get it up. It's hot, 95 degrees, ball's going to fly out of here. Guess what? David Ortiz, he's got even more room than the rest of us. You know what? Another inch down the bat, another inch up. If he gets a good swing and gets great trajectory on his ball flight, it's still going out. Me, it's a pop up the short.
Time now for our Comcast Business Edge, and we look at Scott Podsednik of the Boston Red Sox. He is 7 for 22 lifetime against Ryan Dempster. Comcast Business Edge, sports at the speed of business. This is a guy Demp really got a handle so they don't get them going right away.
Well, and the key is being aggressive and making his pitches. I mean, for Demp in this game, he's had great late movement all season long, but he can't get away from his mentality of staying aggressive, especially early in the counts, getting in there, getting strikes. Why? There's not a lot of breaks in this lineup. In the National League, you find breaks. There's guy typically at the bottom. You can pitch around certain guys and set up matchups that you want, but in these lineups, you got to be real careful. You got a Vilas down there. I mean, he's having a fantastic year for them. And you got Pods at the top, and then you talk about the big boys in the middle. Now, some of the big boy numbers are down a little bit, but again, still respected in the game. Adrian Gonzalez, my goodness gracious, one of the best left-handed hitters in the game. Now he's having a down year, but again, do you really want to mess with him and find out how well he can start hitting on a 95-degree day in Chicago? I don't. So you got to make your pitches, especially early in the count.
All right, we've got to take our next time out. Look who else the Red Sox have. You've mentioned Mark Pryor. How about Rich Hill, former Cub lefty? He's injured right now, but has found a little bit of success pitching in Beantown. We'll be back with Holly's Keys and our key performers and a whole lot more. Straight ahead, coming up on CSN.
Want total access to Major League Baseball? Then you need Xfinity and MLB Network. You'll get over 125 live regular season games with live look-ins from around the league, plus 24/7 inside access, so you're there for all of baseball's biggest stories. With Xfinity from Comcast, the best seat in the house is in your house. Sign up for the HD Premier XF Triple Play or ask about other bundles starting as low as $99 a month for a year. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call today.
That's out there. Range Rover Sport.
Your old air conditioner is costing you money. Put your money back in your pocket with a new energy-efficient air conditioner from Four Seasons. And right now, get a new air conditioner from just $24.95 installed. Furnace and AC combos from just $36.95. Plus, enjoy 5 years interest-free financing. Save money on your electric bill with a new AC from Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Get the 20-piece McNuggets. What? That lovely girl? Caught your eye? 20-piece McNuggets are only $4.99. You offer to share them. A conversation begins.
That's pretty smart.
I've been around.
20-piece chicken McNuggets, only $4.99. Just one of the awesome tastes available only on McDonald's new Extra Value menu. The simple joy of being extra smart.
Before the miraculous returns, before the inspirational resumes, before the NFL season even begins, comes the deal you won't want to miss. Did he catch it? Yes, he did! This season, get NFL Sunday Ticket at the lowest price in almost a decade. Unbelievable! Watch every game every Sunday for less, only on DirecTV. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directv.com/NFL to order now.
Here at Riverfront, we love to say yes. Can we take $13,000 off this truck? Yes.
Hey, can we do oil changes without appointments?
Yes, even on Saturdays. Sales or service, we love to say yes. And you'll say yes to a 2012 Chrysler 200 or the beautiful 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee. We say yes to everything. Great selection, lower prices, easy financing. Make us an offer and yes, we'll make you an owner.
Riverfront Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Absolutely spectacular day. Temperature in the low 90s at the friendly confines. A packed house to open a weekend series. The Cubs and the Boston Red Sox teeing it up at Wrigley Field. Alongside Todd Hollinsworth, I'm David Kaplan. With the Boston media in town, they grilled Theo Epstein on a number of topics today. Question also came up about a guy who interviewed with Boston and the Cubs before getting the Cubs job, manager Dale Swaim. Here's Theo on the job his manager's doing so far.
Dale's done a great job. You know, it's been difficult circumstances. We haven't given him a lot of, the 27 Yankees exactly to work with. So despite a lot of the losses, he's maintained a really even-keeled nature, set a really high standard for his expectations for the players. And he's one of those rare managers who can pull off being really well liked by the players, but also respected. And so they want to work hard for him and live up to his expectations for him. And despite the losses, we've had a real nice culture of accountability in the clubhouse. I think will serve us well as we get more competitive.
All right, it's very difficult to manage a team when you know coming in that you don't have a great lineup and you don't have a lot of chance for victory. What is your assessment of what Dale is doing to try and stay even-keeled, hold guys accountable?
I mean, the challenge itself, you're talking about losing teams, essentially, teams that don't have as much talent as others in baseball. You got to keep morale up, and you got. There's two things that have absolutely got to happen this year. Not only do you have to keep morale up, which is your guys fighting every day and doing your best to keep them in every game, but at the same time improving, getting better. This is a team that needed to get better fundamentally. I think there's some areas that they could improve on. I've seen growth and I've seen some progress early going, and I can give you a ton of examples of what I'm seeing and what I believe in. But again, I still think that there's more room for that.
All right. Dale Swaim also talked about how when pitchers get on base, their production as a pitcher the next inning tends to decrease. Okay, I didn't play, you did. I think I speak for a lot of fans out there that are listening going, you got to be kidding me. A guy's not in shape enough to be able to run the bases a little bit? Is that big a deal?
It shouldn't be. You're putting me in a position to, answer for guys who are in that position. I'll just bring up for me Justin Verlander yesterday. You got an American League pitcher, never has to hit. Dropped down 2 sacrifice bunts, was in there, hit. Didn't have to really run the bases, but again, went 8 strong innings.
Did his job.
I mean, that's just it. I mean, for crying out loud, to me, you should be able to do a little bit of both. I certainly, but Dale's right. I mean, there's some reasoning behind that. We have seen some fallout.
There's a correlation.
That's right.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We come back. You've been waiting for him. What the Cubs have to do to win today. Holly's Keys to Victories. Straight ahead.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Subaru. Discover what it's like to have a car you can love.
Do you see it?
There it is.
Yeah. Where?
It's getting away.
Where is it?
It's gone.
We'll find it. Any day can be an adventure. That's why we got a Subaru.
Love wherever the road takes you.
Want something really fresh? Try the Arby's Market Fresh Pecan Chicken Salad Sandwich. Wholesome chunks of grilled chicken with crunchy pecans, freshly diced celery, crisp apples, and juicy red grapes on your choice of honey wheat bread or whole grain wrap. Arby's, it's good mood food.
Helpful steps for parents can help. Take the first step today at BMO Harris Bank.
I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good, come on. Come on. I look good,
Let's go, gentlemen. Pick a chute. Either parachute. Either one. This one has duct tape. Both chutes are good to go, sir. Let's go. See you up there, bud.
Can I get, is there another blue one?
Chute's good. Packed it myself.
No, I don't think this is safe. Why is it wet?
The most important decisions are often the easiest, like choosing the healthcare coverage you can trust to give you confidence and peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Designers can't wait. Engineers can't wait. Business today can't wait on old technology from the phone company. It demands a new breed of speed. Comcast Business Class. PC Mag has named us the fastest business internet provider in the nation. Add bandwidth as you need it. Get dedicated business customer service 24/7. Don't wait. Switch to Comcast Business Class because business can't wait.
The Chevy Cruze has remote access. It can check my oil life and tire pressure all through my smartphone.
I wouldn't have thought of you as the techie gadget guy, Tim.
Why? Because I'm old?
Well, boss, you do call it my face.
Transferred your contacts from your old address book to your new rotary-style address book.
Ooh, rotary style.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, very well-qualified lessees can get a 2012 Chevy Cruze LS for around $159 a month. EPA estimated 36 mpg highway.
All right, time for our Subaru keys to the game. Here's Holly.
All right, here we go. Pressure pitch. Ryan Dempster, he's been fantastic in these runners in scoring positions. He's going to have to do it again today. The Boston Red Sox, second in all of baseball in runs scored. He is going to have to make pitches with traffic on the base. If he gets it done, he'll be good. Roll the dice. Daisuke Matsuzaka coming off his second start. Cubbies, approach. Got to get him to the middle of the plate. Don't go fishing. Make him throw a lot of bullets. He's probably going to be on a pitch count and run, Cubbies, run. Let me tell you something, 45 stolen bases opponents against the Boston Red Sox this year. You're going to have an opportunity to run, get it done.
All right, key performer, I'm going Brian LaHare. He's going to take him deep today.
Tony Campana stirring it up on the base pass. Let's get it done.
That will wrap up our pregame show. Let's go to the voice of the Chicago Cubs, the great Len Casper. Take it away.
All right, Cap and Holly, thanks. Yeah, the weather conditions very different to start this weekend series than they were earlier this week against Detroit. Wind is blowing out, and as Cap mentioned, this is a Boston team that can score runs in bunches, lots of extra base hits, lots of doubles. And with this big weekend here, Boston coming in for the first time to Wrigley Field since 2005, and only the second time since the World Series in 1918. And Dale Swaim, Theo Epstein, who of course have histories with the Red Sox going back to Dale when he was a third base coach several years ago, and Theo, the former GM. They're trying to keep things in perspective this weekend.
Like I said before, it's just, another series, really. Obviously, the fans and everybody know that, the Red Sox are in town. The Red Sox against the Cubs, too. The most historic teams in all of baseball, are playing each other. So on a weekend in, one of the better parks in the country. So it's, that's what it is. But the fact of the matter is we just go about business the same way. We got to try, to get better and win baseball games.
It's all about wins and losses. That's what matters in this game. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you see a manager and a coaching staff that have set high expectations for the players, and players who are working hard to live up to those expectations. I do think that we're very prepared day in and day out, and we play the game hard day in and day out. So there's a little bit of a talent deficit right now that hopefully we'll address as we move forward. And I like what's being established in the clubhouse, and I think that'll pay dividends down the line.
That's Theo Epstein talking about his new ball club. You see what he did in his hometown of Boston, winning the World Series in 2004, and again in 2007, first Red Sox general manager to preside over more than 3 playoff teams. Right now the Red Sox, however, are under 500, 31-32, and they're tied for 4th in the American League East. But Theo's main job is the Chicago Cubs, and right now the Cubs losing 2 of 3 against the Tigers. They come in at 21-42. When we come back, we'll hear from Alfonso Soriano with a long history against the Red Sox in the lineup today. He'll chat with Gail Fisher in a moment.
Big news, Chicago. Verizon Wireless is teaming up with Xfinity from Comcast. Now you get the Xfinity Triple Play and Verizon Wireless, plus a great offer. Call 855-704-7400 to sign up, and you'll get up to a $300 Visa prepaid card by mail. Verizon Wireless and Xfinity. It's TV, home phone, internet, and wireless.
How much coffee you fellas gonna need today? 3, 4 cups?
Well,
Doesn't last long, does it? Listen, 5-hour energy lasts a whole lot of hours, so you can get a lot done without refills. And it's packed with B vitamins and nutrients to make it last. So, don't just stand there holding your lattes, boys. Make your move.
We'll take the 5-hour energy.
Smart move. 5-hour energy. Hours and hours of energy.
Ladies, we dropping you guys off somewhere?
No, we're coming with.
I'm right behind you guys. Really beautiful out here, huh? Cheers! All right. Do we want to take a picture of me?
Matt, do you want some help?
I'm good. Night, Matt.
Night, guys.
Good night.
This Father's Day, color his world with a perfect gift from Nautica at Macy's. Like his favorite knit shirt from $39.99. Classic Nautica shorts from $34.99. A signature sports shirt for Dad from $44.99. And Nautica swim trunks just $39.99. Make this Father's Day his most memorable with perfect gifts from Nautica. Right now at Macy's. And introducing Nautica Aqua Rush, the new fragrance for men.
When it comes to gardening, we're, well, inexperienced.
Is this right? Right here? Like this? Plants can smell our fear.
Then Miracle Grow Expand and Grow made things a lot easier for us.
It expands when you water it and improves your soil. For big, beautiful plants that grow up to 3 times the flowers and vegetables. Guaranteed. We were so bad at this before.
Particularly you. Everyone grows with Miracle Grow.
Interleague play continuing. The Boston Red Sox in town for a rare visit here in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Well, Alfonso Soriano with a 10-game hitting streak snapped his home run streak in terms of series at 9 series as he went homerless against Detroit. But hitting the ball out of the ballpark in general, 12 homers over his last 28 games. And Gail Fisher had a chance to catch up with the Cubs left fielder.
All right, Len and Bob here with Alfonso Soriano. Obviously, you're having such a great streak since May 15 with the home runs, and your hitting has really been coming along. What has been the big difference for you?
I think, working hard in the cage and working hard with my mechanic. And I changed my back a little bit, so I think those little things make me a better hitter now.
I know that you worked a lot with Rudy Jaramillo, and now that he's gone, you're working with James Rowson. How has that been? I know it's only been a couple of days, but how have you been able to make that adjustment to a new hitting coach?
It's too early, but I'm working with him and the spin trainer, and he know my mechanic for a spin trainer, and I think I'm okay with him because he's the new hitting coach, and now we have to make adjustment with him and happy with him because he look like nice guy, and that's how we want, like nice guy, and they like to work. I think he like to work too, and we're on the same page.
Yesterday you said it was the first time you've seen Justin Verlander. Obviously he's as good as advertised. How much do you like interleague play and just the sense that you get to see different pitchers and different teams that you haven't played before?
To me it's like not a big difference because I used to play in the American League, but it's good I think for the fans because they not see all those teams in the American League, especially here in Chicago. All those fans here, they see only National League team. But I think it's more important for the fans. They can see different players. But to me, like I said, it's not a big difference because I used to play in the American League, and I'm happy to face those guys because I faced those guys before.
Yeah, playing with the Yankees, you're used to the Yankees-Boston Red Sox rivalry. Now that the Red Sox are here playing the Cubs, it's sort of like Cubs-Sox in a way in terms of the Red Sox and Yankees. How do you feel about facing Boston again?
Oh, I feel great. We faced Boston last year, and they have a very good team. But, it's a good challenger. I like the challenger, and, they have a good team and good starting rotation. But we're here to play, and I hope, we can put some good number and good offense in this weekend.
All right, Alfonso Soriano, have a good game. Len, Bob, let's send it back to you.
Gail, thank you very much. Not only has Alfonso led the majors in home runs since May 15th, but only Jose Bautista, Brandon Phillips, and Albert Pujols have more RBIs, and he's hot, having hit in 10 in a row. He'll be in that cleanup spot today. Daisuke Matsuzaka, Ryan Dempster on the mound today as we get set for Game 1 of this weekend series coming up.
Hi, I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the new cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
This is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Introducing Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
Laces? Really? Slip-on's the way to go. More people do that, security would be like a...
There's no charge for the bag.
Thanks. I know a quiet little place where we can get some work done is a 3-pronged plug.
I have club passes.
Get the mileage card with special perks on United, like a free checked bag, United Club passes, and priority boarding.
Thanks. Okay. What's your secret?
The United Mileage Plus Explorer card. Get it and you're in.
The Chevy Cruze has remote access. It can check my oil life and tire pressure all through my smartphone.
I wouldn't have thought of you as the techie gadget guy, Tim.
Why? Because I'm old?
Well, boss, you do call it my face.
Transferred your contacts from your old address book to your new rotary-style address book.
Ooh, rotary style.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, very well-qualified lessees can get a 2012 Chevy Cruze LS for around $159 a month. EPA estimated 36 mpg highway.
How are things on the West Coast? I hear you moving Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High. All my exes live in Texas. On the bayou.
The perfect song for everywhere can be downloaded almost anywhere.
The nation's largest 4G network, covering 2,000 more 4G cities and towns than Verizon. Rethink possible.
Hi, I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the new cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
This is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Introducing Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
Hey everybody, Chris Bowden and Pat Boyle inviting you to join us for Sportsnet Center presented by AT&T Ubers tonight at 6:30.
It's the Theo Series. Cubs taking on the Red Sox at Wrigley, plus a great pitching matchup in L.A. Chris Sale facing Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw.
Plus, round 2 of the U.S. Open. Drama at the top of the leaderboard. Will Tiger make a charge at the Olympic Club? And the NBA Finals head to Miami tied at 1 game apiece. Join us at 6:30.
We proudly present Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Two of baseball's most storied franchises clash this weekend as Red Sox Nation invades Chicago's north side. Poppy, Pedroia, Gonzo, Fonzie, Starlin, and Demp. It's Beantown versus Chi-Town. Next. Temperatures heating up on the north side as interleague play continues this weekend. The Boston Red Sox make their way into Wrigley Field for the first time in 7 years and for just the second time since the 1918 World Series. Red Sox and Cubs, game 1 of a 3-game set. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Wind blowing out. Ryan Dempster's got to keep the ball down today against a very good Boston lineup. But, Bob, the Red Sox are under 500 here in mid-June. Really banged up, particularly in their outfield.
Yeah, missing a couple of real key pieces. Carl Crawford, a guy that can get on base with regularity, steal bases. Same thing for Jacoby Ellsbury. Two guys that can generate offense when they're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark. They are sorely missed, and John Lackey out for the season with right elbow surgery.
And Scott Posednik, remember him? He wasn't in the big leagues at all last year, and he was toiling away at AAA in the Phillies organization. Boston picks him up, and he has been red hot.
He's done a really nice job for the Red Sox, getting on base a lot, doing the things that Ellsbury and Crawford cannot do because they're on the disabled list. You never know where the help is going to come from, in this case from veteran Scott Posednik.
Interesting pitching matchup, couple of veterans. Ryan Dempster will go for the Cubs, 15 consecutive scoreless innings, and Daisuke Matsuzaka, just his second start after Tommy John surgery.
Daisuke's had a very interesting career with the Red Sox. 33 victories his first 2 years. The next 3 years injury-plagued, shortened because of Tommy John surgery last year. For Ryan Dempster, a lot of speculation this may be his last start as a member of the Cubs.
All right, again, the Cubs 1-2 on this homestand as they start this weekend against the Red Sox. Let's go down to the field. Michael McDermott, one of our favorites, with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light But so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, it gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So we're set, Sox and Cubs. First pitch, all the action right around the corner here on Comcast Sportsnet. Stay with us.
Cubs are one. Sox to number one. Sweep this week.
Hi, welcome to Nissan's Get What You Want event.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, well this one over here's got keyless entry, iKey.
Keyless ignition. Love it. Love the deal.
And the technology
I
is...
know. Bluetooth, Navi, backup camera, everything I want.
It's Nissan's Get What You Want sales event. Now lease Rogue just $209 or get a $179 lease on Altima. Event ends July 2nd. Visit ChooseNissan.com. Hurry in to your local Nissan dealer.
Kind of just sell themselves.
If I wanna be the boss,
I'm Roland Gartner.
and I wanna save some money,
I've sold a lot of cars over the years, probably over 400,000. You know, it's not that hard. You tell the customer what you're going to do, and then you do it.
I better go to Gartner.
Gartner Hyundai Chicagoland's used Hyundai store has made a major purchase of fuel-efficient Hyundais. So shop over 100 used Hyundais and buy a 2011 Sonata for only $16,995.
And then you give the customer just a little bit more. That seems to go a long, long way.
Patrick Mini, Patrick Mini.
Zero down payment, zero first payment, zero security deposit. Right now at Patrick Mini, we're letting it ride in a new 2012 Mini Cooper hardtop for $249 a month, sign and drive. With 3 years, 36,000-mile, no-cost maintenance. Mini Coopers, $249 a month, sign and drive. Plus, only Patrick Mini has complimentary pickup and return for our customers.
Patrick Mini, Patrick Mini.
Only at Patrick Mini.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? Toyota. Right now, you can get a lot for less at your local Toyota dealer, official partner of the Chicago Cubs. The new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank. NA member FDIC. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. And summer has arrived. It's going to be a hot weekend here as the Cubs host the Red Sox. The Red Sox have been in 4th or 5th in the American League East all year long. They began the year 12-19. Now they've won 2 in a row after losing 7 of 8. I asked Dustin Pedroia to assess the Red Sox season to this point, and he said, quote, "We're in last place, bro." And Bob, we want to help out Cub fans as you see their first-year manager Bobby Valentine on what Red Sox fans might be saying this weekend, and we want to translate for you. So wicked fa, that means long.
Yeah.
Bubla, That would be a water fountain, drinking fountain. Number 3, Cella, which is where the Red Sox were in the basement. Suppa. That means dinner.
It's your evening meal, yeah.
Grinda. That's a sandwich. And last but not least, Yui. That's a U-turn. Actually, I've used that
That's
before.
kind of universal, isn't it? Yeah.
So there you go. If you hear those terms, that's what they mean.
You may hear wicked in front of anything. Wicked good, wicked bad, wicked fa.
And before the Cubs take the field, we want to thank everyone who came out to Metro across the street on Clark last night. We had a wonderful night. Hot stove cool music, still adding up the totals for Chicago Cubs charities and the foundation to be named later. But we had a wonderful time with lots of celebrities. And yes, we got up there and jammed away as well. Mike Gent from the Figs, Bill Janovich from Buffalo Tom, Matt Spiegel, Kurt Morrison from Tributosaurus. It was a wonderful time. Peter Gammons rocked the house. The Smashing Pumpkins, I think, blew the roof off the place late last night and into the early morning. So let's check in on Bobby Valentine's Red Sox Southwest starting lineup. This is a very good offense, second in the majors in runs, leading the majors in doubles. Pasednik, Pedroia, Gonzalez. Notice Adrian Gonzalez isn't right because David Ortiz can't DH. Kevin Youkilis at third. Jared Saltalamacchia catches. Ryan Sweeney in center. Mike Aviles the shortstop, and Daisuke the pitcher.
And here's how the Cubs will line it up defensively today. Brought to you by Carl from Sling Blade. Soriano in left, Campana in center, De Jesus in right. I like the way you talk. Balbuena will be at third base. Castro at short. Barney at second. Brian LaHare over at first base. Steve Clevenger doing the catching today for right-hander Ryan Dempster. Ryan Dempster, after a long chat with Theo Epstein the other day, they got a lot of national publicity. They were speculating that perhaps they were reviewing a list of teams that Ryan would approve a trade to. We don't know that for sure, but we know that Ryan Dempster will give you everything he's got every time he steps on that mound for the Cubs.
Chad Fairchild, yes, is behind the plate. Well, that's a dated reference. Alfonso Marquez, you got it though. Brian O'Nora and the crew chief Tom Hallion.
That's the ticket.
On the bases, yes. Here we go. It's Dempster to Pasednik, who has faced Ryan a lot in his career, going back to his Brewers and White Sox days. 7 for 18 with a home run. Against Dempster, who faces the Red Sox for the first time since 2005 when he got the save. He was the Cubs closer, and he bunts, and Pasednik is on. Got that one past the pitcher, and Darwin Barney didn't have a prayer.
Boy, just a perfectly placed bunt. Hit it by the pitcher in front of the second baseman. No chance for Brian LaHare to come over from his position at first base. Really do Tony Campana a lot of good to watch the Red Sox leadoff hitter in this series. Scott Pasednik has been doing that for years.
Here is Dustin Pedroia, who when he was in college at Arizona State, they were playing Notre Dame, and he went to Wrigley Field and watched the Cubs battle the Dodgers, but that was the only time prior to today he had been in this ballpark. So he was watching the Cubs taking batting practice and was noticing all the lasers hitting the bleachers off the bats of Cubs pitchers. Three-time All-Star, MVP in 08, Rookie of the Year in 07. 2 Gold Gloves. He's led his league in runs twice.
He's listed at 5'8", 165 in the Red Sox media guide, but don't let that fool you. This guy takes the swing of a much bigger, stronger man. He likes to hit the ball in the air. He likes to pull the ball.
He said we could pitch better, hit better, field better. He said we've just been inconsistent in every area. There have been stretches during which the Red Sox have played well, but just not enough of those to this point. We mentioned the injuries, especially in the outfield. They've been ravaged. And the 2-0 pitch misses low and outside on a slider. 3-0. And a hallmark of the Red Sox offensively for years and years has been their ability to work deep counts. Although right now they rank just 22nd in walks as Pedroia is on. And it'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez off to a slow start according to his standards, hitting just .267 with 5 home runs. He's in right, hasn't played much of the outfield, but Bobby Valentine's trying to find playing time for a lot of different guys.
Well, and he's not in there for his glove, but it will be a challenge in right field here at Wrigley. We know how tough it can be for visiting players. Heck, we know how tough it can be for home players. Right field here at Wrigley, especially with the bright sunshine, the wind today.
The Red Sox have 2 Gold Glove first basemen, and they are in the lineup today. Neither guy is playing first. Kevin Youkilis is over at third, and Gonzalez is in right with David Ortiz at first. Rookie Will Middlebrooks trying to squeeze in as much playing time as he can get. I guess that's a good problem to have.
Just seems so odd. As you mentioned, 2 Gold Glove first basemen, neither one playing first base, and the guy that is playing first base has a cast iron glove. Now David Ortiz will catch balls in the vicinity. He just doesn't have much range. Might be a good idea to bunt that direction today. Another area where the Red Sox are lacking with Carl Crawford and Jacoby Ellsbury on the disabled list is the stolen base. Only 22 on the season. Mike Aviles, the shortstop, is a guy who will steal a base. We know Scotty Podsednik will steal if he gets a jump, but this is not much of a running ball club with those 2 guys on the DL.
Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for Dempster early in the game for the first out.
Looked like the splitter from Ryan Dempster, which serves as a really good straight changeup. He gets Gonzalez way out in front that time. Yeah, you could see the grip on that ball, the tumbling action. Just enough off speed to get the left-handed hitter out front.
Now David Ortiz, 18 homers in 43 games since 2005 as a first baseman. He is the all-time home run and RBI leader at the DH spot. 346 homers, 1,130 RBIs. Overall in his career, he's 7 homers shy of 400. Pulled on the ground behind first. Leher will fire to second. They get one. Little bobble by Castro. No chance to turn it. 2 outs with runners at the corners.
Well, it seems kind of funny. Len Ortiz has only grounded into 2 double plays this year. He's normally a fly ball hitter. Well, even with the clutch by Brian Leher, a double clutch at second by Starlin Castro, they still had a chance to get Ortiz at first base on this double play. Just able to leg it out.
So here is Kevin Youkilis. He was hit by a pitch near the left ribs on Tuesday in Miami. So he sat out Wednesday. Red Sox were off yesterday, and he's back in there. In case you're wondering, he has the Red Sox career record. He's been hit 86 times in his career.
One of the more unusual batting stances that you will see. He actually separates his hands on the bat as he points it out toward the pitcher right there. Eventually he will take his grip as the ball's being released. A lot of moving parts to this swing. talk about thinking outside the box. He does a lot of things that are counterintuitive to good hitting, but they seem to work for him most of the time. Young kids at home. Look away.
Driven to right, but David DeJesus is there to make the catch to end the inning. So Dempster, after allowing the first two to reach, escapes. Cubs coming to bat when we return.
At Southwest Airlines, we work together to get you checked in, on board, and in the air on over 3,000 flights a day. So we're ready to fly when you are. Find a flight that fits your schedule with our 22 daily nonstop flights from Midway to California. Book all of our destinations online, only at southwest.com.
Light Silver Bullet Special Edition can. Same cold refreshment, cool new look for summer. Frost brewed Coors Light, the summer's most refreshing beer.
Dream big during Menards Project Day sale. Make projects easier with Black & Decker. This easy-to-use multi-tool is perfect for cutting, sawing, scraping, sanding, and more. It includes 15 accessories and storage bag, just $49.99. Update your deck with Railblazer aluminum railing. It's easy to install and has a 20-year limited warranty. A 4-foot spindle handrail section is $56.98. A 6-foot section is only $79.98.
Save big money at Menards.
Daisuke Matsuzaka facing the Cubs, pitching at Wrigley Field for the first time in his career, and he will face this Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Tony Campana starts it. Starlin Castro under 300 for the first time in a while. DeJesus, Soriano, LaHare grew up rooting for the Red Sox, but he'll try to beat him up this weekend. Clevenger catches. Barney at second. Valbuena with his second consecutive start, with Ryan Dempster on the mound.
Quick look at the Red Sox defensively today. Podsednik, Sweeney, and Gonzalez left to right across the outfield. Kevin Youkilis and Mike Aviles on the left side of the infield. Dustin Pedroia and David Ortiz on the right side. Jared Sotalamakia behind the plate today for right-hander Daisuke Matsuzaka. One start since coming off the disabled list. His first start was exactly 1 year after his Tommy John surgery. As I mentioned in the open of the show, got off to a great start in his first 2 years with the Red Sox, winning 33 games. Injury-plagued since.
Looking for his 50th Major League victory.
Only started 12 games in the 09 season, 2 stints in the DL that year, another 2 DL stints in 2010. Started 25 games for the Red Sox, and then last year only 8 games before the Tommy John surgery.
2-0 on Tony C. 31st start in center. High and away, 3-0. Matsuzaka does have a pretty wide array of pitches. There's a fastball for a strike. Heard about the gyro ball, right? When he came over from Japan before 2007. Might just be a changeup. That was a fastball that missed inside, and Campana is aboard.
Well, Fangraphs has it narrowed down to fastball, slider, cutter, changeup, but depending on the grip, depending on the arm angle, sometimes the ball will react differently.
Starlin Castro off to a slow start on this homestand against the Tigers. He went 1 for 14. And he starts a game under 300 for the first time since April 12th. should say, for the first time since finishing the game on April 12th at 296. Breaking ball in there. 0-2.
Anytime Campana goes on, gets on rather. You look at that catcher's caught stealing percentage, and for Jared Saltalamacchia, 5 caught stealing in 38 attempts this year. You know Tony's going to be moving at some point. You saw that thumb flip out there. That's a sign for a pick to first. Campana back easily. Tremendous percentage numbers for Tony Campana.
Chased a bad one way out of the strike zone. And that's the first out.
You'll see on our BMO Harris pitch tracks, ball way out of the zone. That flat frisbee-like slider with a lot of late movement. Started almost right over the heart of the plate, ended up nearly in the dirt away from Starlin Castro.
Campana takes off, pitches outside. The throw is low and actually hits Tony. And he's got to stay there as it just dribbled away. Major League leading 22nd stolen base.
Well, not even a great jump that time by Tony Campana, but a throw by Saltalamacchia very nearly hit Daisuke right in the head. Red Sox catcher obviously didn't have a good grip on that ball. A horrible throw that one hops into Tony Campana's side as he's sliding into the bag.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Well, as a catcher, you're taught low is better than high at second base, but this is carrying it to an extreme. Daisuke down on a knee and still has to duck underneath that low throw.
Did you ever hit a pitcher with a throw to second?
I wanted to, but no. No, but I say that low better than high throwing to second base as you get a look at the most stolen bases in one season in Cubs history.
Well, Tony might have to pick up the pace a little bit, but considering he hasn't played a whole lot, he missed the first 2 weeks while he was in the minors. So didn't get much of a head start on the rest of the competition. But still leading the bigs.
Yeah, low throws are better at second base, obviously, because you have middle infielders who are accustomed to fielding ground balls, picking throws out of the dirt. Easier for them to handle a low throw than a high throw and apply a quick tag. But at third base, you want to get the ball there in the air for obvious reasons. If you bounce it to third, it may end up in left field and a run will score.
Fly ball out to left. Posednik makes the grab. Campana tagging, but bluffing more than anything else, and a good throw from left. 2 down. Here comes Alfonso Soriano. Thanks to Fonzie for joining Gail Fisher on our pregame show. Matsuzaka's from Tokyo, and he signed with the Red Sox to a 6-year deal before the 2007 season for $52 million. The Red Sox had to win the bidding to just negotiate with him, and they bid $51.1 million to earn that right. So they spent a little over $103 million to get him. Biggest problem for Daisuke the last few years just hasn't been healthy enough. 2 DL stints in 09, 2 in 2010, and as Bob mentioned, Tommy John surgery last year. Six feet, 185 pounds, 31 years old. Daisuke Matsuzaka. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. First year in the bigs, won 15, 2007. In 08, he went 18-3 with a 290, and that was good for only a 4th place finish in the American League Cy Young voting. Campana takes off for third. Throw there is low. And in fact, Youkilis never did get anywhere near the bag.
I'm surprised Saltalamacchia even threw the ball. Looked like Youkilis had no intention of breaking for the bag. With a right-handed pull hitter at the plate, you would much prefer to keep your defenders where they are. Youkilis fielded that like a one-hopper off the bat, about 15 feet behind the bag at third. But just judging from the way the infielders reacted, I don't think Saltalamacchia was supposed to throw that baseball to third.
The 2-1 to Soriano almost hit him as a breaking ball got away.
Yeah, with 2 outs and a right-handed pull hitter at the plate, you would much prefer that your left side defenders hold their position. And you break for third base to cover on a stolen base attempt. Soriano might hit a ground ball through that left side of the infield.
Way up and in. That time was a fastball, and he's walked 2 in the inning.
Little chin music that time by Soriano. Just an overthrown fastball from Daisuke, running up and in, able to limbo out of the way. Only 1 walk in 5 innings pitched in his first outing this season off the disabled list, but Daisuke will walk his share of batters, will work a lot of deep counts.
Now Brian LaHare, born in Worcester, Mass, and grew up rooting for the Red Sox, although his idol was Ken Griffey Jr. Sorry, that's Worcester.
Yeah.
W-O-O-S-T-A-H.
And Junior. He's wicked good.
Matsuzaka trying to work a scoreless first, but it's going to be a 20-plus inning in terms of the pitch count. Here's number 21. Foul tipped into the mitt. 1-2.
Well, that's a pitch that Brian LaHare has got to lay off of. That fastball up there above the top of the zone. He's been swinging at a lot of those lately. A very tempting pitch, but not his strength. He's a good low ball hitter from the middle of the thighs down, especially out over the plate. Opposing teams for a while were getting him to chase breaking balls. Now he's chasing high fastballs.
Called at the last possible moment by Chad Fairchild. By the way, we started with an east wind at 8 miles an hour today. Wind shifting a little bit after batting practice. Right now blowing almost directly from right to left. close one, 2-2.
Wow. Very close. I don't know how you can take that one with 2 strikes, but Brian LaHare gets new life here with the 2-2 count. Chance to do some damage.
Full count, 3-2. Steve Clevenger on deck. Ortiz will play behind Soriano, who will take off on this next offering. And the 3-2 is fouled away into the upper deck.
Now, the good news is with 2 outs and a 3-2 count, Soriano will get a little bit of a head start at first base, which we know he needs with that gimpy left knee. Bad news is Brian LaHare fouled off the first 3-2 pitch, and Soriano had to go back to first base, and we'll do it all over again.
And the bases are loaded. And Bobby Valentine's coming out.
You knew it wouldn't take Bobby long to get on television.
Their pitching coach is Bob McClure. Now, do we assume Bobby is speaking Japanese?
He very well could be.
Yeah. Managed Japan for a long time. The early look at our AT&T UVerse multi-view. Cubs with 3 base runners, all on walks. That's a good sign. And the pitch to Steve Clevenger. Hit in the air to left. Coming over is Posednik, and it's going to get down for a hit. The Cubs are going to get 2 runs. Steve Clevenger with a 2-run double. Well, they're going to give him a single and say he went to second on the throw to third.
Little cue shot in front of Scotty Posednik, who was playing extremely deep out there in left field. I think maybe the Red Sox outfielders were influenced by what they saw in batting practice today. Brian LaHare in just ahead of the tag. Had the Red Sox tagged him out at third base, Soriano's run would not have counted.
And Bob Rosenberg has heeded our advice and called it a double, which I think is the right call.
He's a wise man.
This is an instructive inning. And you got a guy not throwing strikes. Cubs waiting him out, loading him up with walks. And they have 2 runs on 1 hit. And with that, there may be some early action in the Boston bullpen. Again, Matsuzaka, just his 2nd start since coming back after missing over a year due to Tommy John surgery. Pedroia will get Barney to end the inning. And Steve Clevenger knocks in a pair with a double, and the Cubs lead 2-0.
You're all set, big guy. See you in 2 weeks.
All right, great. Thanks again. Take care. We'll see you next time. Hey, Shelly.
Hi, Mr. Randall. There you go. That's your balance for today. And let's get you guys set up. He's ready for the twins, Mrs. Martinez.
Prepare for the unexpected with an emergency fund. One of our helpful steps. Take the first step today at BMO Harris Bank.
The 2012 GMC Sierra, featuring an available Vortec 5.3-liter V8 engine with active fuel management. No competitor has better V8 fuel efficiency. Not Toyota Tundra, not Ram 1500, not Ford F-150. How efficient is that? Get 0% financing for 60 months when you purchase a 2012 GMC Sierra, or trade up to the extended cab SLE value package to get a total value of $7,000. GMC, why just trade in when you can trade up?
Want total access to Major League Baseball? Then you need Xfinity and MLB Network. You'll get over 125 live regular season games with live look-ins from around the league, plus 24/7 inside access, so you're there for all of baseball's biggest stories. With Xfinity from Comcast, the best seat in the house is in your house. Sign up for the HD Premier XF Triple Play, or ask about other bundles starting as low as $99 a month for a year. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call today.
Play catch in the outfield, run the bases, or relax in the dugouts of Wrigley Field during Catch in the Confines, presented by Advocate Healthcare next Saturday, June 23rd. Limited tickets are available for $150 each and include a t-shirt, photograph, baseball, and lunch. Guest tickets are also available for $15 each. All proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Ryan Dempster with a 2-0 lead. Last two starts didn't allow a run. And got out of a jam in the first inning here today. Cubs went 2-8 on their last road trip. He had both wins. Jared Saltalamacchia, switch hitting catcher.
Yeah, were it not for Ryan Dempster, we'd have come home empty-handed from that last road trip. You mentioned 15 innings pitched combined between Milwaukee and Minnesota. Gave up only 7 hits, struck out 9, walked 1 batter, did not allow a run. He was tremendous.
Maybe the worm is turning in terms of run support for him. When he left those starts, Cubs were up 5-0 and 6-0, and they gave him 2 first-inning tallies again today. In on the hands and popped into center field. Tony Campana makes a catch.
Now Dempster with that tailing fastball occasionally has trouble getting in on the left-handers. That looked like a 4-seamer. That ball will hold its line a little bit better, and just enough of a jam shot to Saltalamacchia to turn that into a lazy fly ball to center.
Ryan Sweeney, the center fielder, takes a fastball inside. Was acquired from Oakland prior to the season. Former member of the White Sox, was a second-round pick of the White Sox out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 2003. He pops it up. And on the infield, it's Darwin Barney. Here's the shortstop, Micah Vilas, hitting 8. Called strike.
Now Vilas has spent 34 games as the leadoff hitter for the Red Sox, hiding down there in that 8th spot today.
He lines one into center. They get Matsuzaka to the dish with 2 outs.
Well, obviously this is something new for an American League pitcher. Daisuke a little bit tardy in that on deck circle, just getting his batting gloves on. The bat boy had to run down and get a different helmet. This could be interesting.
2 for 12. With both hits being singles and coming in 2010. 2-0.
I mentioned earlier, Aviles is one threat to steal a base, but certainly not in this situation with 2 outs and the pitcher at the plate. If you get caught stealing, Daisuke will be leading off the top of the 3rd, and that's not what the Red Sox want.
One was on the inside corner, 2-1. His uniform number 18 goes back to his days in Japan. The best pitcher on each team there wears 18. Fly ball out toward Campana, who went in, now has to backpedal, and that'll be the inning. 2 out single, no runs. After an inning and a half, the Cubs lead 2-0.
Do you work for Toyota?
Yes.
Is it true the 2012 Camry has a lot of new features but costs less than last year?
Yes.
How is that even possible? I mean, is this thing even working? Do you find yourself uncontrollably attracted to me?
No.
No, it's working.
Right now, lease a brand new 2012 Camry LE for just $199 a month. And get a lot for less. Toyota.
Rum from Captain Morgan.
Must be nice, cheering on Team USA from the shallow end. Back in 08, we didn't have these U-verse wireless receivers that let you move the TV around wherever. No siree, Bob. Who's Bob? And if you didn't have a TV outlet, well, then you couldn't watch Diddley Squat. What are you talking about? You have no idea how good you have it. It's not working. Oof.
Get a wireless receiver in time for the Olympic Games. Get U-verse TV for $29 a month for 6 months. Rethink possible.
Monday, round 2 of Chicago's favorite summer baseball series kicks off at U.S. Cellular Field. Don't miss a minute of the action as the Northsiders look to even the score. Expanded coverage begins at 5 with Chicago Tribune live from the ballpark. The best coverage of the BP Crosstown Cup is on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs with 2 first-inning runs of Daisuke Matsuzaka. Just to expand on that uniform number story. When Daisuke did sign with the Red Sox, getting 18 was a very important thing. And going back to the Yomiuri Giants of the late 60s, early 70s, Tsuneo Horiyuchi was their ace, and he wore number 18. And when he grew up, talking about Matsuzaka, Masumi Kawada, later pitched for the Pirates, wore 18. So as a very young guy, his goal was to wear this uniform number.
And when you spend over $100 million to bring the guy into your organization, giving him the number he wants seems like a very small thing to do.
I would agree. Johnny Damon wore it for Daisuke. 2-0 the count on Luis Valbuena. His Cub debut yesterday against Justin Verlander, and in the lineup again today. 3 for 9 in his career against Matsuzaka. Valbuena may see a lot of playing time. Ian Stewart on the DL. Valbuena, left-handed hitter. Saltalamacchia will not have a play.
Had a couple nice defensive plays down at third base, initiating a couple of double plays, one on a bobble. Couldn't find the handle initially, but got rid of it quickly after that to second base. Darwin Barney was able to turn it over.
Ball and strike, 2-2. Way inside, almost hit him.
I'll tell you, Daisuke really plays fast and loose with the rules regarding his windup. He nearly comes to a complete stop. And if you come to a complete stop and then continue, that's an illegal pitch. Very close as he gets the hands up over his head. There's just a slight delay, but he keeps his body moving just enough to make it a legal pitch. That rock back and forth on the rubber with the right foot, that makes it legal. Yeah, this windup very similar to Kevin Youkilis's approach in the batter's box. Maybe something you wouldn't teach to somebody, but it works well for him. Completely out of the box thinking as far as his windup goes.
Pitcher Ryan Dempster on deck. Valbuena bounced that one off his front foot.
May have got him off the back foot. We've seen a lot of this lately. Guys fouling the ball off the back leg, back foot. See the high leg kick from Valbuena as he strides into that fastball. Catches himself on the outside of the left knee.
They're foul. He got him swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good battling at bat that time by Valbuena. Ultimately, Daisuke finishes him off with that slider. Our BMO Harris pitch track shows the 81-mile-per-hour pitch in the strike zone. Valbuena just a little late.
Outside to Dempster. From 1999 to 2006, Daisuke pitched for the Cebu Lions of Japan's Pacific League. Slicing fly ball. Adrian Gonzalez can't get it, gets by him. Dempster on his way to second, around the bag.
Oh, no.
And he's in at third, standing with a triple. First triple in a decade.
You mentioned the inexperience of Adrian Gonzalez in right field. A slicing ball toward the line. He tries to make the diving catch. Obviously nobody behind him to back this play up. Ryan Dempster not accustomed to the extra base hit, kind of watching the flight of that ball, realizes it's going to be fair, and man, once it got past Gonzalez, he really turned on the Jets. Rounds the bag at second. The reason I said, oh no, a good relay throw, and they would have had Ryan Dempster at third base by about 30 feet. But to compound his first mistake in right field, Adrian Gonzalez overthrew the cutoff man.
Campana bounces to short. Dempster can't score, and Aviles gets Campana. 2 outs. Big out for Matsuzaka.
You know, Len, it seems like every Tony Campana at bat, I'm advocating a bunt, but that's another situation to me for a guy with his kind of speed that screams out for a bunt for a base hit attempt, even with the infield drawn in. The defenders naturally are going to have to pay attention to the runner at third and what he's doing, and that slight delay may give Tony a chance to beat it out for an infield hit. Or if they get the out at first and it's a perfect bunt, Dempster may be able to come home and score a run on a safety squeeze.
Yeah, you make them have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. That hit him.
Well, Matsusaka sailed one up underneath the chin of Alfonso Soriano earlier in the game. This one just catches Starlin on the outside of the left elbow and then gets a big part of his own catcher back there behind the plate. This always happens.
So sure, Matsuzaka's really trying to pitch inside. It just doesn't look like he has good command.
I just don't think he's fine yet with his command. You mentioned he's only had one start since coming off the disabled list, and his last rehabilitation start was only an inning and a third, so he's a little rusty.
Foul by DeJesus. Matsuzaka went directly from high school to pitch for Cebu back in 1999. And he led the Pacific League with 16 wins. 72 complete games in Japan over 8 seasons. 18 shutouts. And in '98, while he was in high school, he was 17, had a 3-day run leading his team to the national championship. Just astounding. 250 pitches on day 1. Played the outfield day 2, ended up getting the save on the mound, and then threw a no-hitter on day 3. There's a base hit for DeJesus. Into the plate is Dempster. 3-0. All the runs here in the first 2 innings coming with 2 down.
It's like a slider that just rolled up there on the inner part of the plate for David DeJesus. As you mentioned, he's had some past experience against Daisuke. 9 at bats coming into the ball game today. 4 base hits. You can add to that total now.
So the 2-run double by Clevenger with 2 down in the first inning, and a 2-out single by DeJesus here in the second. Yesterday the Cubs faced arguably the best starter in the game, and say for 1 inning in which they scored a couple of runs, they really didn't have many opportunities. Today they're facing a guy who is clearly rusty, struggling with his command. They have 3 early on, and they'd like to really pile on as much as they can against a Boston team that can score runs in bunches.
Cubs offensively kind of turning the tables on the Red Sox, if you will, with those 3 walks in the first inning. 2 of them came around to score.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. And it looked like a delayed steal by DeJesus, and he just jogs on down to second.
That's one of those plays designed to possibly steal a run. David DeJesus is kind of jogging toward second base, looking back toward home, even slowed up as he got near second base, trying to draw the throw, but Red Sox weren't biting, and now Soriano will have an opportunity to drive home 2 with a base hit.
3 steals for the Cubs here early on. Swaim, former third base coach of the Red Sox, did interview for their managerial job before Bobby Valentine got it. Dale was in a pretty good position, seemed to be the top candidate in Boston and here in Chicago. The Cubs were able to get him. Soriano grounds out 4-3 to end the inning. The Cubs add on and lead 3-0 after 2.
This Father's Day, get a DeWalt 18-volt cordless drill with 2 batteries and charger for just $99. Or get Dad a Campbell Hossfeld twin stack compressor, complete with nail gun and other handy accessories for just $59. Lowe's, never stop improving.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
This Father's Day, color his world with a perfect gift from Nautica at Macy's, like his favorite knit shirt from $39.99, classic Nautica shorts from $34.99, a signature sports shirt for Dad from $44.99, and Nautica swim trunks just $39.99. Make this Father's Day his most memorable with perfect gifts from Nautica, right now at Macy's. And introducing Nautica Aqua Rush, the new fragrance for men.
Whoa! Don't want you spilling that hot latte on my driver's seat.
This is my car. Who are you?
I'm the second owner.
The what?
I will own this car after you. Look, I'm not telling you how to drive our car.
Our car?
If you're gonna have a latte in the car, keep a lid on it.
It's a cappuccino.
Still needs a lid.
The exceptional certified pre-owned program with the highest quality cars. Good news for the second owner.
Take care of my car.
Visit your local Audi dealer to learn about the many benefits of our comprehensive certified pre-owned program.
Hey fans, how would you like to see the Cubs battle the Mets at Citi Field or catch the Cardinals series at Wrigley? Cubs destinations has spots available for these highly anticipated matchups. All standard packages include great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a special Cubs gift bag, a tour of the ballpark, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player. For more info, go to Cubs.com. We get into the 3rd inning. Ryan Dempster and the Cubs leading the Red Sox 3-0. And always great to see Michael Milken, the founder and chairman of the Prostate Cancer Foundation. It's Father's Day coming up on Sunday, so happy Father's Day to all the dads. We will not have the broadcast on Sunday. Michael, welcome back to Wrigley Field. How are you, sir?
It's always an honor to be here, home of the great Chicago Cubs, and be with the two of you and increase the awareness for prostate cancer.
So we got the home run challenge this weekend. You've got the Keep Dad in the Game eye black stickers on.
Right, one of the keys to our success is to see you guys wear that Keep Dad in the Game stickers.
Would love to.
So since we started this program 17 years ago, the death rate from prostate cancer has fallen about 50%, and we're hoping in the next 5 years it'll become a chronic disease, not a life-threatening disease. And the idea of keeping Dad in the game, come out to the ballpark. What better place to be than in Wrigley Field today? And this field is the home to the most famous game in 17 years in the home run challenge. It was the year that the Yankees came in here for the first time and played since Babe Ruth pointed out to right field.
03, correct? 2003?
That's correct. And Clemens was going for his 300th. And you had playing for the Cubs that year a young man named Karros, who had been traded here, who's the greatest home run hitter in the history of the Home Run Challenge. 1 out of every 2 games. And we arrived here at the stadium with Tommy Lasorda, and I noticed that Karros is in the dugout. We would quickly run out and tell Dusty Baker, who was the manager, get him out on the field. This guy's going to hit a home run.
Sednick bounces to Barney. 1 away.
And he tells us, I'm the manager. He's right-handed. Clemens is right-handed. We're starting Choi. Clemens is up 1-0. If you remember that game, Clemens is well on his way to his 300th victory. All of a sudden, that pop-up, catcher catches that ball. Choi's there, brings his elbow down, knocks out Choi. If you remember from right field, the ambulance comes out, picks him up, and out of the dugout comes Karros. The next inning hits a home run. Clemens doesn't get his 300th. The Cubs win. And we raise $100,000 that day for prostate cancer research. We've raised $40 million from home runs.
Very nice.
And today, every home run counts as $16,000. 100% goes to prostate cancer research. And the original idea, as you know, Bob, was to just come out and with your dad, your father, your grandfather, your uncle, your friend, your coworker, and remind them to get tested for prostate cancer. And the awareness, this is the #1 awareness program for prostate cancer in the entire world.
Pedroia with a rainbow out to DeJesus. And let me add, Michael, recently getting into my 40s, did have the prostate exam. It's very quick. I would say it's painless, but it takes 5 seconds. And you get a clean bill of health, and then you come back a year later, right?
That is correct. And with the money we've raised, there's going to be a new simple DNA urine test available later this year, more accurate. Just, you know, testing your urine, and you'll have that early warning system. And 92% of all men in America now live 5 years or longer that have been diagnosed with prostate cancer versus maybe 50% in Europe because of this early warning system. There's been a lot of controversy recently. Should you take the test? Shouldn't you take the test? But who doesn't want an early diagnosis on a potentially life-threatening disease? And with 1 in 6 men going to get prostate cancer in America, it gives you a tremendous opportunity to turn it into a chronic rather than a life-threatening disease. But with new treatments today, we envision within 5 years this will no longer be a life-threatening disease if you take care of it. And you can go to PCF.org, and you know the program. You can pledge money for home runs hit. In that year 2000, we peaked at 160. Last year, we only had 90. But they're hitting more home runs this year. And we're hoping the Cubs are going to give us a bunch of them today in this game. And so, and you go to PCF.org, you can learn a lot about nutrition, what you might be able to do with your diet. And what a lot of people don't realize is when you're diagnosed with prostate cancer, for almost 30% of men, the recommendation is to watch it. Not treatment, not surgery, not radiation. And then it's been caught so early.
Michael, always a pleasure to see you.
Good to
Happy
see you.
Father's Day.
Bob, good health to you.
Thank you.
And we're looking for your blue on Father's Day.
Got it.
Thanks
for stopping by, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
We began with the RX. Then we turned the page, creating the RX Hybrid. Now we've turned the page again with the all-new RX F-Sport. This is the next chapter for the RX and the next chapter for Lexus. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
And that's our quarterly wrap-up. Any thoughts?
Wow.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Incredible.
No, I mean, really, this is so good.
That's great, guys. Thanks.
Off the charts.
Phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm just glad we're all on the same page.
Slam dunk.
Incredible.
Kick up the flavor with Dunkin's new breakfast burritos. Made with fire-roasted veggies, melted cheese, and delicious steak. Grab one today. America runs on Dunkin'. Bring on the day. Bring on the flavor. Hurry in for Dunkin's new breakfast burritos.
An accident doesn't have to slow you down.
with better car replacement, available only with Liberty Mutual Auto Insurance. If your car is totaled, we give you the money for a car 1 model year newer. Visit a local Chicago office for details. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
Tonight, Dunn and the White Sox look to cool off Andre Ethier and the Dodgers. Coverage begins at 8:30 with White Sox pregame live. White Sox, Dodgers, tonight at 8:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Yes, Chicago Sports News Nightly on Sportsnet Central, presented by AT&T Ubers. Coming up tonight at 6:30, highlights and post-game reaction from the Cubs and Red Sox. Also coverage from the second round of the U.S. Open. Join Chris Bowden for Sportsnet Central, presented by AT&T Ubers. Tonight at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Ryan Dempster has been very sharp early on. Not the case for Daisuke Matsuzaka, and the Cubs had taken advantage. 2 in the first, 1 in the second. And we have a couple of Lakeview High School alumni and lifelong Cub fans. Rollo and Golden Keebler celebrating their 61st anniversary tomorrow. And their children and grandchildren want to wish them a very happy anniversary, and also want to wish Grandpa Keebler a happy Father's Day, to the best dad and grandpa a kid could ever ask for.
There you go.
Very nice. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, listen to Michael Milken talk about Eric Karros being the all-time home run leader on Father's Day. You wonder why teams don't sign him for this weekend. You know, just a 2-day contract, bring him in, let him slug some homers, and then go right back to the booth.
Well, here with a fly ball out into right center, and Ryan Sweeney will get to the spot and make the catch. Tim McCarver's calling the game tomorrow, not Eric Karros here. That game Michael's talking about, certainly one that stands out in recent Cubs history. Steve Clevenger doubled home a pair in the first inning. So this all-time interleague series tied at 3-3. Cubs winning 2 of 3 here in 05, dropping 2 of 3 at Fenway last year. It was the Cubs' first visit to Fenway since the 1918 World Series. Red Sox won that one in 6 games. Games in Chicago were played at Comiskey Park because it held more people than the then named Weekman Park, later to be named Wrigley Field. Nine runs in the series for the Red Sox. And it was in early September, and again the home games were played on the south side. Babe Ruth got a win in that series as Clevenger rolls one to Aviles, who gets him. The one thing about a team like the Red Sox coming here, once they get to the ballpark, everything is generally unfamiliar to most of their guys. But I think they stay at the same team hotel when they play the White Sox. So coming to Chicago is no big deal. I mean, they all love coming here. It's long been ranked as one of the best road cities in the major leagues. As Barney will fly out to Posednik to end the inning, but you get on Lakeshore Drive and head north from the hotel when you come here. 3-0 Cubs after 3.
Laces? Really? Slip-on's the way to go. More people did that, security would be like a...
There's no charge for the bag.
Thanks. I know a quiet little place where we can get some work done is a 3-pronged plug.
I have club passes.
Get the mileage card with special perks on United, like a free checked bag, United Club passes, and priority boarding.
Thanks. Okay. What's your secret?
The United Mileage Plus Explorer card. Get it and you're in.
Like the Rockies themselves, Coors Banquet Beer is an American original. It's only brewed in one place, Golden, Colorado, because that's where we find our Rocky Mountain water and the best high country barley. Now maybe that's uncompromising, and maybe brewing up here means an extra trip or two. But as you know, originals follow their own road. Coors, the Banquet Beer.
How are things on the West Coast? I hear you moving. Rocky Mountain Night, Rocky Mountain Night. All my exes live in Texas. On the bayou.
The perfect song for everywhere can be downloaded almost anywhere.
The nation's largest 4G network, covering 2,000 more 4G cities and towns than Verizon. Rethink possible.
Monday, the Cubs seek redemption while the White Sox look for a repeat as the BP Crosstown Cup lands on the south side. Expanded coverage begins at 5 live from the ballpark. White Sox, Cubs, Monday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. The fourth inning is brought to you by the new Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell.
3-0 Cubs. And Dempster will face Ortiz, Euclid, and Saltalamacchia. Big Papi takes a strike. Put on the pull shift against him on the infield, which means the shortstop and second baseman are in the outfield.
Big Papi's not as big as he used to be. He slimmed down considerably from past seasons.
Grounds one almost right to Castro, drops it, and the throw not in time. I don't know if they hit the lip of the grass or not, but it did hit the grass before it got to him. He will be charged with an error.
Sounded like Big Papi broke his bat hitting that ball right over the mound. You see Castro was in a good position. You got it exactly right, Len. That ball hit right on the lip of the outfield grass, took a bad hop up into the midsection.
Doesn't he need to charge that ball maybe next time?
Yeah, I mean, whether you're playing in a shift position or your normal position, you always want to get that good hop. And it seemed like he could have come in a step or two and fielded that ball cleanly on the bounce before the one that hit the grass. Take a quick look at our Coors Light freeze cam. We talked about Kevin Euclid and his unusual stance. Look at that. Just the index finger and the thumb on the right hand. Has a couple of fingers in the thumb on the bottom hand. But as the pitch is delivered, he brings his hands together in a more traditional hitting grip. Just the timing that's involved in getting all those moving pieces in the right place at the right time.
Three and one. Well, it has worked for him.
Yep. Can't argue with the result.
A lot of trade rumors out there about Kevin Euclid, although the general manager of the Red Sox, Ben Sherrington, has said there's nothing to it at the moment. Final year of his contract that is guaranteed. 3-2. High fly ball out into left center. Campana calling off Soriano to make the catch. Check out the new Audi Legends Suite on the new Veen Investments Suite level. Watch the game with a former Cub and listen to classic stories about life as a Cub. With a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest, the Audi Legends Suite is the most exclusive way to watch a Cubs game. For more info, visit Cubs.com/suites. A nice note from our buddy Tom Morello, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Rage Against the Machine, big Cub fan here at the game, and his sons Rhodes and Roman are at Wrigley for the first time.
Nice.
Saltalamacchia, a switch hitter. Open stance from the left side, and he gets under one. And pushing that one back a little bit right up to the edge of the vines as Soriano makes a catch. That looked like a pretty routine fly ball, but the wind got a hold of it, almost took it right out of here.
I watched Saltalamacchia take batting practice today, and he was doing just this a lot as the Red Sox hit, trying to drive the ball in the air to the opposite field. Very nearly got this one into the basket, just in front of the vines for Alfonso Soriano. Of course, playing half of their home games at Fenway Park. Fly balls like that to left field in Fenway, it's most of the time going to be a double. You're going to bang it high off that wall, ricochet back toward the infield, and if you're running out of the batter's box, should be an easy double.
The center fielder Sweeney. Ortiz still at first, 2 outs. Talked about the outfield injuries as Carl Crawford is recovering from wrist surgery. Jacoby Ellsbury has a dislocated shoulder. Daniel Nava dealing with a sore hand. He's on the active roster. Cody Ross on the DL with a fractured foot. Some Cub fans may be wondering, where's Marlon Byrd? Marlon recently released. Now the Red Sox, nice running catch by Castro to end the inning. Midway in the 4th, Cubs 3, Red Sox nothing.
You can find your beach just about anywhere. That's why we're letting you choose. So look for specially marked packages of Corona. Find a code inside for your chance to win your beach.
As a professional medical test subject, I'm fine with being a guinea pig. Except when it comes to my laptop. I'm sick of tech companies treating paying customers like test monkeys. That's why I went with Toshiba's Satellite Ultrabook. They get it right before they release it. With its high-speed start and fast data transfer, it has everything I need and no unforeseen complications. Testing unfinished products on the public? That's inhumane.
The Satellite Ultrabook, only from Toshiba.
Maybe it's the unmatched luxury and capability, the fuel economy and Grand Cherokee styling, or the improved V6 performance and fuel efficiency. If you've been looking to feel the freedom of a new Jeep vehicle, there's no reason to hold back. You have the power, and where you'll find it is within.
During the Green Tag event, well-qualified lessees get Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $319 a month or purchase and get $1,000 cash allowance.
Are we doing okay here?
Absolutely.
And what can I get for you? I'll have one of those.
Great work by Rick Fuse and the Menards grounds crew. We call him Double Duty Rick. He runs the scoreboard from the press box, the balls and strikes and outs, and is the quickest trigger finger in the business, doesn't he?
Yes, he is.
Boy, that ball hits a mitt, and it's ball or strike on the board.
We try to catch Rick every now and again. There he is in his perch just to our right up here in the press box. Lightning quick.
Luis Valbuena lines to Sweeney. Let's get today's AT&T trivia. Who holds a Red Sox all-time record in runs, hits, doubles, RBIs, extra base hits, and total bases? Well, you know where you usually go with anything Red Sox related offensively is Ted Williams, but it's not the answer, I don't think.
Hey, Yaz is always another good avenue to go down when you're talking about offense and Red Sox.
Ryan Dempster swinging the bat today. He's tripled and now singled.
Ryan Dempster raking today. Just a middle of the plate fastball at 88 miles per hour, and he's all over it. Hit that like he knew it was coming.
Yeah, I would go with Yaz. And here's why. Ted Williams with 9,788 plate appearances. Yaz had almost 14,000. So just sheer plate appearances, piling up huge numbers. "23 years with the Red Sox." Carl Yastrzemski. 3,419 hits, 452 home runs. 1-2 to Campana. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Number 3 for Daisuke. 2 down.
Came on a slider from our Nissan pitch tracks. It's been a good pitch against the lefties for Daisuke today. That one that starts in the middle of the plate ends up off the inside corner. Right over the top.
Long pause by Matsuzaka. And Castro fouls it off. Ball to third, and Youkilis will throw to second, where Pedroia was standing by. We head to the 5th. All Cubs early on, leading the Red Sox 3-0.
I look good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. Right. Come on. I look good. Right.
The more you floor, the more you save. Buy one room of flooring, get all other rooms of product for only $50 each. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna. If I want to be the boss,
I'm Roland Gartner.
and I want to save some money.
I've sold a lot of cars over the years, probably over 400,000. You know, it's not that hard. You tell the customer what you're going to do, and then you do it.
I better go to
Gartner Hyundai Chicagoland's used Hyundai store has made a major purchase of fuel-efficient Hyundais. So shop over 100 used Hyundais and buy a 2011 Sonata for only $16,995.
And then you give the customer just a little bit more. That seems to go a long, long way.
Patrick Mini.
Zero down payment, zero first payment, zero security deposit. Right now at Patrick Mini, we're letting it ride in a new 2012 Mini Cooper hardtop for $249 a month, sign and drive. With 3 years, 36,000